Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to have a look at what we were talking about yesterday in the live. So as we know, the live is on every Tuesday at 12 p.m. GMT, and we just come together and we talk about our manifestation journey, our personal development journey. We have questions that we ask that maybe we don't have anyone to ask in our life, and it's kind of built around the idea of a support system for anyone who is developing on their journey and needs a little bit of guidance on the way. They're not up for viewing afterwards for the simple reason is that we want to be vulnerable. We want to be able to ask what it is that we want to ask and not be worried about our names or anything being kept up for viewing afterwards. So I wanted to go over what we actually talked about yesterday for anyone who may have missed it. So when we were in the live yesterday, we were talking about our manifestation journey, and the whole premise of what it is that we are creating is done through the habits that we have actually created and the beliefs that we have chosen to believe over our years and over whatever it is that we are creating. So when we know that we are actually the ultimate creator in how we choose to think, behave and act and speak, we know then that we can change our circumstances around. The circumstances are not permanent. And I know that when we are looking outside of ourselves and things are going on, it seems like things are impossible. It seems like things can't change. And I know myself, even from my own experience, I've had moments like that as well too. But I want to say that they're not permanent, and yes, they can change. They change according to how we change. So when we actually decide on ourselves that we are wanting to change a particular belief or a particular habit, we go about the routine throughout our day in order to incorporate it into our daily lifestyle. So if we are someone who has a habit that we want to break, or maybe we're looking outside of ourselves and we're not happy with what we are seeing in our life and we want to create a change, it all comes down to the moment where we say to ourselves, okay, this is changing right now. So when it's changing right now, all we have to do then is ask ourselves what it is that we want to think and feel and what it is that we want to experience, get kind of a real good idea of the whole thing that you want to actually create. So if it's something like a relationship or a certain amount of money or whatever it is, you get that idea in front of you, you make it clear, and you know with conviction that it's going to manifest, that it's already done because you've come into the conviction of it. And from that point then it's breaking the habit of the old way of being. So how we break the habit of the old way of thinking that things are impossible is to be aware of our thoughts throughout the day. And the best way to do this, if you are new to it, is to actually create a routine. So when we get up in the morning, we should have put aside 10 or 15 minutes to maybe sit down and you do affirmations. Even if we do not feel like we're not able, if we don't feel like we're into doing it in the moment, get into the kind of feeling of doing it by actually doing it. So what I mean by that is whatever way that you can incorporate 10 or 15 minutes into your morning when you wake up, do the affirmations, whether it's writing it down, whether it's just making your coffee or whatever it is that you're doing in the morning, do the affirmations, focus on the affirmations. You only have to do it for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, I know when we come out of these routines that we still have to be aware of our thoughts. However, when we are going about our day and we actually incorporate in a routine where we can come back into the moment, have another 10 or 15 minutes to sit down and do affirmations or visualizations, or simply maybe it's an acting kind of as if 10 minutes in that moment will bring us back into what it is that we are creating. Remember, you're not meant to be perfect. We're always going to have slight negative thoughts here and there, but they do not matter when we are so in our focus in the routine that we have created. So even another routine, for your evening time as well, before you go to bed, another 10 to 15 minutes of the same idea of whatever it is you are creating. And even when we start off, and this may seem a little overwhelming, over a week, you will start to become so used to this routine that it will start to become natural, that you will actually, I know from my own experience, feel better in the doing these routines than not doing them, meaning that you actually find ways to even incorporate these routines for whatever it is that you're creating, even when you actually manifest things into your life and they're taking up more of your time. You still will find time. You'll say, okay, well, I'll get up a few minutes earlier, or I will, put aside some time at lunch or whatever to do them. You will be so kind of used to doing this routine that it will just become natural to you. So the main thing is to persist for the first week in whatever routine that you decide, and to keep going with whatever it is that you are creating, because all you're doing when you're manifesting or personal development as well is breaking a habit. It's just a habit that we've all created in whatever way that we think, whatever way that we act, and all of these beliefs that we created all came from the habit of thinking in that particular way. So I also wanted to say that I was asked about affirmations, and I am going to do some affirmation tracks. I want to say that, you can email me at any time, and I know that I was asked about the affirmations and for paying and things like that. However, the service that I provide is kind of a guidance service, and really, if anyone comes to me for the guidance, I'm going to give the guidance and a guide as much as I can with the affirmations, without actually requiring a payment, because it just feels better for me to do that. So however, if you were someone who wanted to pay in any way, you can donate anything to the channel, which is fine, and that's okay, whatever amount, it doesn't really matter. It's just if you feel better in those moments. But if you feel better to give some form of payment for whatever it is that you are receiving, but you don't have to. And the reason why I wanted to give it in a way that it is a guidance that I want to continue to give is because I feel at this point that we all should kind of be in this kind of community together, and also we should be elevating and, lifting each other up. And I think that we all already know everything that we are requiring to know, and when we actually look for more information, that is actually us just seeking out what we already know through guidance. And so for me, when anyone emails me, it's all free, and anything that you desire to know, it is all free. There are no payments for these simple reasons. And again, I will have the thing on the channel for the donation. If you require to do that, that is fine, but it's not a requirement. So don't be stuck is what I want to say. You can email me at any time if you need any guidance with anything, because you already kind of know it. And when anyone comes for guidance, it's really just to awaken it within you, what you already know. So with that being said, I'm going to leave that video there. Again, if you have any questions, you can comment down below. I am going to put out some affirmation tracks, and if you have any requests, you can comment down below as well too. And I'll chat to you soon.